seekers, greetings, love icons. We have an exciting message tonight. We're going to get right into it. And you all, we're talking tonight about the fear of leaving others behind. The fear of leaving others behind. Okay. And you'll find out later why I'm saying others. Okay. So before we get into it tonight, really quickly, I want to welcome everybody and introduce myself. My name is Pangea North Star. I am an energy healer, a sound therapist, a Reiki practitioner. I do intuitive energetic readings, as well as using other tools such as Compassion Key to do energetic clearings. I do attraction coaching, and I love to talk about love. I love to teach about love. The name of this segment that I do every Tuesday night is Attracting Love Energy. Attracting Love Energy. We do that live every Tuesday night. So thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you'll continue to do so. So I love to teach seekers like you how to utilize the laws of attraction to invite, to attract love energy into your life. And love energy is for healing. Love energy is for compassion. Love energy is for forgiveness, for abundance, right? We utilize love energy to heal ourselves, right? So as an energy healer, it is love energy that I'm calling on, that I'm allowing to flow through my body in order to be a vessel to facilitate healing for others. Okay. So love energy is of the utmost importance. Love energy is the vibration of creation itself. So, you guys, I'm going to be sipping on a little tea tonight because I'm not feeling my best. So, I'm going to, my plan is to share the message, answer any questions that come up, and go to bed. So, greetings to those who are coming into the room. I just want to really quickly check the comments. Greetings, Dabney. Greetings, little child, 3322. As you all come into the room, continue to say hello. Let me know you're here. And I appreciate all the support tonight. So our conversation tonight is about the fear of leaving others behind, okay? And the fear of leaving others behind is something that we will all experience at some point in our life, and that we have experienced and will probably experience quite often. At any point that we are experiencing a change. Greetings, Diggy Mo. So, fear of leaving others behind can also, we've also heard this discussed as the fear of change, but we're going to go a little deeper. This is not just the fear of change, but the fear of elevation. Okay, and not just the fear of success, but the fear of ascension, right? The fear of doing things differently than you've ever seen them done before. Okay, and this still counts even if you've seen someone else that you don't know do something similar to what you're trying to do, but no one right here around you in your immediate vicinity is living this new way that is coming to you to live or to conduct yourself, or to make changes to better yourself. Okay, this is what we're talking about: elevation, to better yourself. Okay, to live your life at a higher level that is more beneficial to you, that is more authentic, okay, that is more true to who you really are, versus just, checking off boxes, following the script, following a pattern that is expected of you, or doing what you've always done, mimicking and mirroring everything that's around you. Okay, so many of us are getting the urge, are getting the unction, or getting ideas of ways that we need to that we would like to expand our life and change ourselves and grow into something different. But as soon as you begin to do that, you meet a little resistance. And right now, we're just talking about the internal resistance. Okay, the feelings that you feel inside, the feelings that come up for you when you think about living your life differently and being a different version of yourself. Okay, so this could be so many different things. It could be stepping away from corporate America. It could be stepping outside of organized religion. It could be pulling back from certain social circles. It could be a new love style, okay? Changing the way you date, who you date, or deciding not to date at all, okay? Lots of people are, you know, making changes in that area of their life, exploring, examining the way that they've been dating, the way they've been coupling, and finding that, I'm not getting what I'm looking for here, so let me try a new way, okay? Let me examine what I'm doing and make some changes. Make changes accordingly, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? This could be remodeling your marriage. It could be leaving your marriage. It could be openly rejecting the idea of marriage at all. It could be an urge to change your sleep and work schedule. You may be feeling right now that, man, maybe I should rearrange the flow of my life in order to find more energy for the things that I really want to do, the things I really want to accomplish. Okay. It could be something small like, oh, I want to change my style, the way I dress or the way that I wear my hair. And you guys, I want you to not dismiss these things like that may seem like something small. Okay. It may seem like something that has to do with their outer appearance or that seems like it's only consequential to you. Don't dismiss that. Okay, these are little breadcrumbs many times from your higher self getting you on a path of alignment, saying, hey, let's try a small change. Okay, let's try a small change before we do anything drastic. Let's just slowly but surely begin to do small things to align with the energy of a higher version of yourself. Okay, so don't dismiss those things. When you feel, maybe I should start taking a different route to work every day. If something small like that comes to you, go for it. Do not ignore that. Okay, do not ignore that urge to do something different, even if it seems to come out of nowhere and it seems inconsequential. Okay, um, there is a great book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And it goes deeply into talking about different changes that you can make, small everyday changes you can make on the way to becoming someone new. Okay, and how this creates new neural pathways in your brain. Okay, it can be very important to help you to affect change. Okay, so you all, we're talking about the fear of leaving others behind. Okay, the fear of leaving others behind and how that can come up for us, the different ways in which it can manifest itself when we're feeling the urge to make a change in our life. And I'm going into this because our entire our universe is changing, right? The state of the world is changing, and it's starting on the inside of people. So many of us are finding ourselves with an urge to do something different. May seem small, or it could be something huge. It could be some sweeping change that you're feeling an urge to make in your life. And that can be scary. Okay, so we're going to dig a little deeper into what that fear actually is, okay, and what that looks like. Okay, so we always talk about the different chakras. We're talking about the energy of whatever topic we're talking about each night. So tonight we're talking about solar plexus energy. Okay, the solar plexus chakra is one place that you may be experiencing a blockage. If you are experiencing the fear of making a change, this fear of leaving others behind. And I want to say something else, another way that this could a small example of how this can be manifesting itself. You may be experiencing some sort of a spiritual awakening, right? You say you're reading new books or you're watching some new videos and like, oh wow, this really resonates with me. And you have this deep urge that, oh, I just want to send this to everybody. I want to send this to somebody. I want to send this to my friends. I want this to resonate with someone else too. you can, you can go that route, but many times you'll find that other people are not responding, and it's not resonating with them the way it's resonating with you. And if that happens, it's okay. It doesn't need to resonate with other people. The thing that's important is that it resonates with you, and don't abandon the path that's taking you down just because it's not resonating with others. When we sometimes we have that urge, we want to take someone with us. We come into this new realization, oh, I gotta send this to my best friend. And I've definitely been guilty of this. I want to send this to my friends. I want this to resonate with other people. It may resonate with them, it may not. But continue down the path that it's taking you on. And don't be afraid of going down that path, that extension of your consciousness, seemingly alone. Okay? So that is another way that it can manifest itself, is that this urge, this compulsion to always share everything, and you want things to resonate with your friends and your family because it's resonating with you, and that may not happen. Do not be afraid. Continue down that path that is resonating with you. Okay? So, let's continue on. Solar plexus energy. The energy of your solar plexus chakra is about taking action, right? It's about taking action on the things that you're actually thinking about. Okay, that's one of the things the solar plexus energy helps us to do when it's in balance, is to take action, right? And to not just procrastinate, or just say, oh, well, I know I need to do such and such, but I'm not doing it, for whatever reason, right? So solar plexus energy has to do with actually, kicking into gear, going into action. This is also dealing with your heart chakra energy, right? And we talked about this. We touched on this some last week, the heart chakra. It is the chakra of love and compassion. It is also about being open to change and adapting to change, especially after a disappointment, right? Or even when you are afraid of being disappointment, you're afraid of failing, opening your heart to new possibilities. Okay, that falls under the heart chakra energy. Okay, now the throat chakra is also involved in this phenomenon of the fear of leaving others behind, the fear of going down a new path on your own, right? Throat chakra. This is carries the energy of expression of the change that is occurring. Okay, you may be fearful of expressing aloud this change that is coming. And if you have a fear, if you're finding that you're having a fear of talking to anyone about it, or just saying it out loud, I encourage you to start with writing it down. Start with, just writing down your feelings about it, and writing down the thoughts that are coming to you. What is the change that you think that you need to make? What do you think is inspiring this change? And what will this look like? Okay. What are the first steps that you can make? All right. Start with writing it out. Okay. That is also throat chakra energy. That is a mode of expression. Okay. So with throat chakra, we often only think of, speaking or singing, or, using, releasing energy, expressing that way. But your hands are also a mode of expression. So writing, drawing, painting, sculpting, all of these things are a mode of expression. Okay. And the last chakra that I'll touch on, that I'm going to bring to the conversation, is the third eye chakra. Okay. And this carries the energy of envisioning the version of yourself that has already mastered, already accepted, already embraced, and stepped into this change fully. Okay. So let's drop into this topic a little bit more, feel into the energy of it, the fear of leaving others behind. Okay, we're talking about the fear of, making changes on your own when you're not doing this as part of a group. Okay, and so many of us within our world, within our own universe, we are experiencing changes that we just cannot describe. Okay, that we just, may not even recognize. Okay, and things that we did not, did not see coming. Okay, but the reason that this urge for change is coming up for you now It's because the energy is now here to support it. Okay, the energy is now here to support the change that you really want to make, and that you, it could be something that's just kind of sneaking up on you, or something that you've been wanting to make a change, that's been in your heart, and you just didn't have the courage, okay, or didn't, maybe it didn't seem that the resources, the energetic resources were here. The energy is now here to support that change, and that is the reason why this thing is just kind of bugging you recently, okay? Now, let's talk about this. What is being reflected to you about yourself within this fear of leaving others behind? Okay, so wrapped up within the fear of leaving others behind, and remember, this could be any change that you're wanting to make in your life. There's hesitancy there. Many times the hesitancy is rooted in going it alone, doing something different. That is what we are naming as the fear of leaving others behind. Greetings, Shanae. Blessings. So the fear of leaving others behind is rooted in the fear of being alone, right? Or being the only one who XYZ, right? Who is doing this type of change, living this type of lifestyle. And in truth, we're never the only one, but maybe you're the only one that you know that's doing this, right? Or maybe, one of only few, right? This fear of going it alone, right? Wrapped up in that is the fear of losing your way. There's a fear of arriving at a place where there's no one there to guide you, right? Fear of arriving at a place in your life where there's no one there to guide me. What if I run into trouble with this? Who's going to tell me how to handle XYZ or what to do next? Right? This is impossible. I want you to know that that is impossible. You will never arrive at a place in your life where there is no one there to guide you. You will always have the guidance of your highest self, which is the same version of you that is guiding you into making this change now. The same little voice that's saying, hey, let's come away from that practice. Let's do this differently, right? Let's pull away from this career path. Let's pull away from the way we have been relating to others. Let's pull away from the way we've been dating, the way we've been doing family relationships, the way we've been doing our parenting, the way that we've been eating, or whatever it is, whatever that change is that you're being called to, that same voice, that same energy that's pulling you, that is your higher self. And that energy, that guidance is not going to just abandon you and drop you off once you get there, okay? We have to trust. We want to begin, building that relationship with that higher version of ourselves so that we can establish that trust, okay? And the way to do that is to just begin to trust the small things. The small things. If it's, hey, I really feel like I should leave this job, that's the big one. I'm going to use that because so many people are in jobs that, we just like don't love, jobs or careers. It's just like, I really hate this, but I feel like I have to do this to pay my bills. If there's something huge like that, some huge overhaul that you're wanting to make, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I should trust, this feeling that I'm having, this guidance that I should be leaving this. Start trusting that same voice on small things. When that small voice is telling you, hey, take another route today when you're going to the store, when you're heading home, just don't question it. Just go with it. Just go with it. And the universe will find a way to let you know that there was a wreck on that way, on that route that you normally take, and that there was a reason that you needed to go that other way, right? If it's something small, when the spirit is telling you, hey, let's not eat this, or let's try something different. When it's small things, start with smaller things in order to build up that relationship, in order to build up that trust, okay? And work your way up to the bigger things, okay? But yes, you will always have that guidance from your highest self at whatever level you are truly open to that guidance and to the degree that you reach for that guidance. Okay? To the degree that you reach for that guidance, right? So for example, I always will say, I'm going to go with my gut, even if it looks crazy to other people, right? I'm not afraid of people saying, why is she doing that? I'm not afraid of looking different at this point, right? Not afraid of other people not understanding why I'm doing what I'm doing, long as I have my reasons for doing what I'm doing. I'm following my higher guidance, and that has been highly rewarding for me. Okay, but over time, it has helped me to build my trust with my higher self. Okay, so now we're looking at that. Hey, that what's behind that fear of making a change? That this is the fear of leaving other people behind, that fear of being alone, that fear of not having guidance, right? So let's drop a little deeper. Let's go deeper. What's even behind that? Let's go to a deeper level of that. What's even beneath that fear of being alone, that fear of reaching a level, reaching a point in our life where there is not guidance there for us? Okay. What is the matching frequency in our energy field is a question that I often ask. Okay. So look at this way tonight. If that first question that we asked is an outward reflection of fear of being alone, of being isolated from others, right? The fear of leaving others behind, right? If you imagine that as being on the right hand side, the masculine side of your energy field, I want you to now feel into the energy of the left hand side, the feminine side of your energy field. What's on the flip side? What is the matching frequency to that frequency of fear of leaving others behind? It is the fear of being left behind. The fear of being left behind is the matching frequency in your energy field. Okay? It is the fear of being left behind is causing the fear of leaving others behind to appear. So we have to heal that as well. Okay? We need to address that and preemptively heal that. Okay? So fear of being left behind. This is also impossible, as you are always on your path. You're always on your path. It's impossible for you to be left behind. You cannot be left behind by others. You can only mistakenly assume that your path is the same as others, or that your path intersects with others or runs concurrently with others in ways that are actually not for your highest good. I'm going to say that again. It's impossible for you to be left behind because you're always on your path. No one else can leave you behind on your path. This is your journey. This is your race. You're running it, right? So it's impossible for you to be left behind, but it is possible for you to mistakenly assume or to desire that your path is the same as others, that it's going to intersect with others or run concurrently with others in ways that are not meant for you or that are not for your highest good. Okay? Feel into that. Feel into that. If you're watching this later, not live, feel free to pause or rewind and sit with that. It's impossible for you to be left behind. You're always on your path. Okay? Now, let's take this a step further. Let's take this into the quantum. Let's take this into the spiritual realm. Okay? Now, what is the key to, or the unmasking of, the decoding of, the fear of leaving others behind, the fear of being left behind? The underlying truth to that fear, the antidote to that fear, is the fact that there are no others. There are no others to leave behind. There are no others that will leave you behind. There is only you. There is no one here but you. You are a reflection, a fragmentation, an experience of source, and so is everyone else. We are all source. Therefore, we are all this experience, right? This experiment of what it feels like, what it would feel like to be separate from source. So, this illusion that we're always talking about, this illusion of separation from source. And it is an illusion. Because in fact, we are all mirror images of source. We are all source energy. So in truth, there are no others. I am you and you are me. Now, can you leave yourself behind? Can you leave you behind? It's impossible. Okay? Now, we all signed up for this experience, right? When we decided, our souls agreed to come to earth and experience this illusion of separation. And if this sounds foreign, allow yourself to remember. Just allow that memory to come in. Allow that to settle over your soul, settle into your knowing. And if this is resonant, as this begins to resonate, let's continue. Now, we didn't all sign up to live the same lives. We signed up to experience separate lives. Right? So when we are trying to, stay with the pack, when we are trying to follow the script and check all these boxes on the common path of the life that we're told to live, that is when you're actually lost. That is when we are actually lost, is when we are trying to stay on the safe path. Because we signed up to all create these unique experiences, these individualistic experiences. We all were sent out in different directions at different times to have these experiences, gather this information, and report back to source. So if you're trying to live the same life that everybody else is living, you're not doing your part to make this experiment work. That is when you are lost. That is when I am lost. That is when we are lost. Okay? So the moment you became a soul having an individualistic experience, deciding to jump through the portal into the earth plane, you may also recognize this as the moment you left the womb. Or you may recognize this as the moment you first experienced separation from source. Your first experience, your soul's first experience of individualism, that little bit of angst. Each time that you decide to take your life in a different direction that seems separate from the pack, you are reliving that moment internally on a soul level. You are reliving that moment when you decided to jump into the earth plane, to come through that portal, that decision to leave the womb, right, and come into the earth plane. That little bit of angst is that decision all over again. The difference is now you have some context. You've now seen some people fall. You may have fallen a few times yourself. Maybe you didn't handle it so well. Maybe you saw someone else not handling their fall so well. Maybe you were ostracized. Maybe you saw someone be ostracized. So now you're inviting those memories into your current experience. via fear, right? We need to preemptively heal that. We need to preemptively heal that. Okay? So guys, sometimes we're doing like some preemptive healing, like we're healing, some preemptive suffering. And we need to change that to preemptive healing. Okay? Sometimes we're suffering ahead of anything even happening because we're thinking, oh, what if this goes wrong? What if this? What if I fall on my face? What if I fail? What if people say, I told you so? I told you not to do that. Or what were you thinking? You out here looking crazy, right? We need to start doing some preemptive healing rather than preemptive suffering. Okay? So, how does that look? How do we do that? How do we handle this? Right? How do we lean into this? How do we unpack this on an energetic level? Okay? So, one way that we can do this, and I'm not going to attempt to do an entire visualization here because I want to keep it short tonight, but for those of you who do meditate, do visualizations, right? I really honestly prefer, or I love to give visualizations. That is one of the areas where my gifting lies, as well as I find a lot of people are intimidated by the idea of meditation because you have a certain way that you think it's supposed to go. You maybe struggle with clearing your mind. So I say, rather than just, trying to clear your mind, how about using your mind to take yourself on a journey? Okay, mind is the most powerful tool that we have. And this spaceship we call a body. Okay. So let's do some deep breathing here. And just drop into the energy of whatever this change is that you've been thinking of making, but you're running into some angst, you're running into a bit of anxiety, a bit of hesitance, some internal resistance and or fear. Let's just do some deep breathing and drop down into the energy of that. Let's feel into our solar plexus, which is just below the sternum. It's above the navel and below the breastplate. Okay, this energy is represented by the color yellow. So let's just notice what we feel there when we think of this change. Let's just notice what we feel in our body. Is it a tightness? Is it a nausea? Is there any discomfort there? What is the fear that comes up for you? What is it that you are concerned may go wrong? Breathe. As you breathe in, I want you to pull the oxygen. Imagine the oxygen going directly to that area, to the solar plexus. As we ask for support from our divine guidance, as we explore into this unknown space here. We're talking about the space of the unknown, right? The space of the unknown. So let's pull the energy of that fear, that concern that we've been having. Let's pull that up from our solar plexus into our heart space. To the heart chakra, this is the space of love and compassion, flexibility. Let's just imagine that fear being bathed in a green energy of love and compassion. Literally imagine that fear being bathed in a green light. Let's speak to it. If this fear were a little baby, were a little child, what would we say to that fear? You don't have to be afraid, right? We may say to that child, it's okay if you're afraid. Everyone becomes afraid sometimes. You will survive this fear. Fear is natural when trying something new. I'm going to be here for you when you are afraid. You are not alone when you are afraid. Everything is going to be okay. You will get through this. You can do this. What are the encouraging phrases that you would say to this fear, the compassionate phrases? I'm going to give you a moment. To say these things to yourself. Yes, good job. Good job. Now, as we allow this energy to rise from the heart chakra into the throat chakra, which is the realm of expression, I want you to imagine those fears that have now been bathed in love and compassion. I want you to imagine them being released. As you exhale, I want you to imagine yourself blowing out those fears. One more time, breathe into the solar plexus. Feel the breath coming up past the heart, out of the throat, and release. Allowing yourself to be purified of those fears. One more time, and this time I want you to vocalize with me. Make a sound to further solidify these fears, the energy of the fear leaving your body, and we're going to do an ah sound. Vocalize with me now. One more time. If you did not find the strength to vocalize the first time, let's do that again now. This is very important because everything that you speak, everything that you release through your mouth, you also hear. And I want you to hear this fear leaving your body. This is very important to solidify this for your subconscious mind. And one more time, we're going to vocalize. Very good. Good job. Good job. This is risky, right? This is different. This is facing that fear. Okay, so staying with the exercise, what is left of that energy is the purity, the pure excitement, the desire for something new, the desire for something better, the desire for something different, the joy of change, the possibilities that is wrapped up in the change, the improvement that it will bring to our life. And I want you to allow that energy to rise to the realm of the third chakra, which is just in the center of your forehead, just between the brow. Pull that energy up into the third chakra. And here is where we will imagine, we're going to envision the image of the version of yourself that has mastered this change. How does that version of you feel having completed the journey? We're envisioning the version of yourself that has now completed the change. Let's tap into the feelings that that version of yourself feels after having already made and mastered that change. Is it a feeling of peace? Is it a feeling of power? How much lighter does this version of yourself feel? How much stronger does this version of yourself feel? How much more free, expansive, powerful to affect change in your own life? How much more impactful does this version of yourself feel? Let's allow ourselves to feel those feelings now. Allow those emotions to rise for you, as this is very important for manifestation and bringing the emotion of it. Let's go a step further and imagine, what does this version of yourself look like? This may be a physical difference, or this may just be a smile, a look of joy and peace on the face of this future version of you. Now let's go a step further and ask the question, what is this version of you saying to you? What is this higher version of yourself saying to you? What are the loving and compassionate words that this higher self, this higher version of you is saying to you? Now that you have arrived at the point of mastering this change, let's hear those words. I knew you could do it. I'm so proud of you. I believed in you all along. I've been waiting for you. And I love you. What are some more phrases? Give yourself another phrase that resonates for you. Okay. Good job. Good job. Good job. I just want to give you a moment to process this energy, to integrate the change, integrate that energy. Exhale and release. Let's kind of come back into the room and back into the present moment slowly. You may want to wiggle your toes or your fingers. Come back into the present moment. And recognize the power of what you just did. You can recreate this exercise at any time, but tapping into the energy of your highest self, okay? And who is your highest self? If you're not certain, I suggest you have a look at my video, Who is Your Highest Self? Your highest self is the version of you that exists in the quantum fields, the version of you that has already passed every test, the version of you that has agreed to pass every test. To experience every challenge that you are currently facing, to pass with flying colors, so that you may one day return home to Source. This version of you is here and waiting to give you the answers. It's not a cheat. This is the way to win, right? That version of yourself is here and waiting to give you the answers to every challenge, every test you are currently facing, so that you may one day return home to Source. So this fear that we've been examining today, that we've been looking into, the fear of leaving others behind, the fear of being the only one, is actually rooted in the fear of being left behind, which we have discovered is impossible. If anyone has any questions, please ask your questions now before we wrap it up. If there's a general question or a personal question, I'll be glad to fill into that energy with you. But I really want you all to begin to think of this, okay? To begin to practice this daily. Have fun with it. Make it yours. Make it beautiful. Tapping into the energy of that version of you that is pulling on you. When you get ideas to do something that you would have never thought of doing before, the ideas that a past version of you would have never dared to do, where is that thought coming from? It's coming from a higher version of you that exists now, that exists in the quantum. Don't be afraid to stop and listen to that voice, right? And it may be throwing big ideas at you, it may be throwing small ideas at you. If you find yourself unable to act on the big ideas, start with the small ones. Start with the small ones, okay? I'm looking to see if there are any questions. I'm not seeing questions come through. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up, especially since I am slightly under the weather. I'm going to tap into the version of myself that's gotten past this little cold that's trying to come over me. I'm going to tap into the version that's already mastered this cold, okay? Do some healing work on myself tonight. But I thank you all for joining me. I thank y'all for your support. I thank y'all for showing up every week. I thank you for all of the positive feedback. I love you guys so much. Give me some hearts if this resonates with you. If you're watching this later and this resonated with you, give me some likes. Give me some shares. Share this with someone that this will resonate with. Okay. And I thank you guys for continuing to come in and support week after week. This has been beautiful. This has been lovely. I love you all. Continue to rise in your power. Remember that for every leap that you make in your life, for a leap to truly be a leap, there must be a moment when both feet are off the ground. When nothing is beneath you, when there's nothing to lean on, just an instant. But trust that you will land in your power. All right, I love you all. Have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys back here next week. Peace.